Hello, Delora here. I was going to tell you that I do suffer from insomnia, and right now it's 2:35 a.m. in the morning. I usually don't go to sleep, don't get sleepy, especially if I take an afternoon nap. I usually don't get sleepy until around 3:30. But I have known to be stay up to at least 5 or 6 a.m. as well, but that's not too often. Uh, I thought this would be a good time to record my video because Obi is asleep, so I don't have to worry about him barking at the UPS truck and the mailman and the Amazon truck. And my husband is asleep, so I don't have to worry about him interrupting me as well. So, but I did take some notes this time, so I want to be a little more prepared. Um, like I said, I want to do my part in helping mental health awareness. Uh, and like I said, as far as depression, if you feel depressed, then you really need someone to talk to. And because you don't feel like uh, what I'm trying to say. I'm saying you don't feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, but there are people that you can talk to when you're deeply depressed. Um, like I said in the last video, they have the crisis hotline. You can call or text them at 988, or you can call the 1-800 number, 1-800-442-HOPE, which is 1-800-442-4673. Okay. Okay. Also, I want to ask. I also want to ask you to subscribe to my video. I would appreciate that. Um, that way I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Anyway, so I would love for you to become part of what I call the D Squad. I like that. I hope you like that too. Okay. Well, today I want to tell you, on this vlog, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Well, I'm going to tell you a lot about myself, and I'm going to try not to talk over 20 minutes, 30 minutes, because I don't want to put you to sleep. Okay, got my notes here. Okay, so hopefully I won't screw this up. Okay, I want to tell you about my, like I said, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you about me, and forgive me for stuttering. My name is Delora. That's my middle name. I'm 66 years old. I have a disease called fibromyalgia, and it's a terrible disease that I don't wish on anyone. I was diagnosed in 1991, but I've been struggling with this disease since 1980. I said 86. No, not 86. 80, no, not 86. I've been struggling since 76, I think, 79, 70s, late 70s. Okay, well, I'm not going to say 80s. I'm going to say late 70s because I was working at the post office. So, but fibromyalgia, what I want to tell you about fibromyalgia is a musculatory disease. It lies dormant in your body, but it can be triggered by something like something traumatic happened to you. So if something traumatic happens to you, like me, it was I injured my back when I was working at the Social Security Administration uh, building as a file clerk in Chicago. I injured my back and trying to open up a cabinet, and I had to I had to be off work for a while, and I had to have physical therapy. I had to wear a back brace, and for months. The pain was really bad. I never fully recovered from it. Uh, it's just that the pain got down to more tolerable. And tolerable, I mean like a level 2. The highest you can go on the pain level is a 10. The lowest is 1. When you get to a level 10 in pain, your pain level is 10. That means you're going to be going to the hospital because you'll be in so much pain. You'll be ready to put yourself out of your misery. I'll say that. I'm gonna be honest. And you want to go to the hospital because the hospital will give you they'll give you an injection for the pain. Most likely it'll probably be morphine. But they'll give you something for the pain to help you feel better. And then, of course, they'll want you to follow up with your primary care physician after that. Or they'll recommend a pain clinic, which is what I go to now. I go to a pain clinic. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Now, with my fibromyalgia, the winter months was the worst. After I had my back injury, my back started hurting more like in the winter months. And I didn't realize at the time that I had triggered the fibromyalgia in my body. I didn't know that. Like I said, I wasn't diagnosed in 1991. So I didn't know, why I didn't recover from I never recovered from the back injury. But I noticed that in the wintertime, because Chicago could be so cold, brutally cold. In the wintertime, I hurt worse during the wintertime than I did in the spring and summer. So I always look forward to the warmer weather because the pain will be less. And I did some research and I found out that's because my fibromyalgia was in remission. And that's the reason why it didn't hurt as bad in spring and summer like it does in the winter. Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure I tell you everything here. And if you know someone that may have fibromyalgia, or they think they may have them, you may want to recommend a rheumatologist to examine you to see if you have fibromyalgia. They have he can tell by, one of the things that he can tell by if you have fibromyalgia is tender spots. Like he can press, like the back, take his finger and go to the back of your neck and press a spot, and it might feel tender to you. And he could do the same with your arms and your back, and they're what they call tender spots. That's one of the ways that he can, the doctor can find out if you have fibromyalgia. Okay. Now, you may not believe me, but I'm telling you the truth. I've been in all my 66 years so far. I've been in 13 car accidents, and I'm telling you the truth, 13. 2 out of the 13 what I believe were my fault. One, my brakes went out, and it tapped the lady's car, and she didn't call the police on me or anything like that, because it wasn't that much damage. And one time I backed into a lady because I didn't want to run the stoplight, so I backed up, not looking behind me, and I bumped the lady's car, and I felt so bad. That was my first accident, by the way, and I felt so bad. And I, she said that there was no damage to her car, so no need to exchange information. I'm trying to see if there was a third one that I was responsible. No, I think I was only responsible for 2. So that means there was 11 accidents that were not my fault. And the reason why I'm mentioning to you about these 13 car accidents, because that's trauma. And trauma was making my fibromyalgia worse. So and the reason why I'm saying this is because it didn't matter anymore after having all these accidents. It didn't matter anymore that it didn't matter anymore as far as remission. Remission went out the window. I was hurting all the time. 24/7, spring, summer, fall, winter, I was hurting. And sometimes the pain can be, like 2 or 3, 4, and something like that. But the winter time is always worse. It's up there like 7, 8. And my doctor that I was seeing, because I told you they didn't find out tell me that I had fibromyalgia to 1991. My doctor, she was calling me a hypochondriac because she couldn't understand why I was hurting so much. She tried giving me pain medicine, didn't help. And so she was thinking I was a hypochondriac. And so she sent me to a rheumatologist specialist here. That's in Chicago because I live in Tennessee now. And the rheumatologist there, he ruled out lupus, and he ruled out rheumatoid arthritis. But he couldn't figure out why I was in so much pain. Now, it wasn't until I moved to Nashville, and I started getting pain. Like I said, my pain never really stopped, but the pain was getting bad. And so I went to my primary care physician. He referred me to a rheumatologist, and the rheumatologist told me that I had fibromyalgia. I said, "Fibro who?" He said, "Yes, fibromyalgia." I said, "I never heard of that." He said, "Yeah, that's what you had." And he explained to me, about the trigger points and stuff. And he told me that there's no cure for fibromyalgia. Also, I want to say this so I won't forget, fibromyalgia is hereditary. I hope I'm saying that right. So my daughter can get it, or my grandson. I think I got it from my mom, but I don't think her fibromyalgia was as bad, because my mom's arm used to hurt her so bad. She said she would stick her arm in the oven. That's the only way she was able to get relief from the pain. She would stick her arm in the oven, and but eventually the pain, she didn't suffer like that with pain anymore. So I don't think her fibromyalgia was as bad as mine, and that's probably because she hadn't been in 13 car accidents. And like I tell you, some of these those 11 accidents, some of the people hit me real hard. I mean, one time, and I don't care if you laugh about this, because it's funny now, but it wasn't funny when it happened. One lady, she said she didn't see that the light had turned red, and she rammed into the back of me. She hit me so hard, she knocked my wig off, and I was so embarrassed. Here I am, my wig done fell off into my lap, and I can feel the pain shooting up my body to my head. And she did damage my car. We did call the police. They took me The ambulance came and took me to the hospital, and they said, of course, I didn't have any broken bones, anything like that, but I was in a lot of pain. And that's what fibromyalgia does. When I get in pain, that's a trauma situation for me, and that means my muscle will start tightening because out of nowhere I just get hit, and so I just hit, and then my muscles tighten up, and then when I finally able to relax, then that's when my muscles start hurting, and it mostly always end up being in my back, and that's probably because, like I said, my first injury was to my back. So, but as I went on, the fibromyalgia started being everywhere. In my neck, my back. I was seeing chiropractors. I had doing acupuncture. I was having pain everywhere. I think the only place I didn't have pain, I'll say the only place I don't have pain right now because I'm still having pain. The only place I don't have pain, I'll say, would be no, I have pain in my head. I'm trying to figure out the body parts. The only place I think I don't have pain would probably be my, I guess I don't have pain in my stomach, but I have pain everywhere, in my back, my ankles, my feet, my shoulders, my shoulder blades, my elbows, my arms, my hands, because I developed tendonitis in my hands. That's one of the little gifts you get fibromyalgia, that you eventually end up with arthritis, and most of the time it's osteoarthritis, and I do have that. The rheumatologist told me I was going to probably end up with osteoarthritis, and sure enough, he was right, because I started getting pain and stuff in my ankles and my feet, and he said that I had, and he did some X-rays. He said I have osteoarthritis. So now, as the years go on, I ended up having osteoarthritis everywhere: my knees, my feet, my hip, my shoulders, my back. I have 2 herniated discs in my back. My mom didn't tell me that I had sciatica, but she said when she took me back to the hospital when I was a little girl, she said she took me back to the hospital. They said it was gone, so she didn't worry about that too much. Okay, I told you that it's a widespread musculatory disease. Okay, I want to mention this, and then you'll see what I was saying about my back. It said here also that fibromyalgia amplify painful situations by affecting the way, painful sensation by affecting the way your brain and spinal cord process pain and non-painful signals. And then one time, one of the accidents I had, the lady thought that I was faking. She hit me. We were in a hospital garage, and you know how they had those arms come up when each car passed? Well, she didn't see the arm go down, and she hit the back of my car. Again, like I said, the pains, because that's, I wasn't expecting it, so it's like a shock to my system. So as soon as she hit me...
Excuse me, madam.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. As soon as she hit me, I can feel the pain shooting up my back. And also, and this time it was going down my legs too. And she thought I was faking because there was no damage to my car. So she said, oh, I didn't, there's no damage to your car. You can't be in pain. And I said, yes, I am in pain. And I'm saying, I'm sorry you don't believe me. So since I was right across the street from the hospital, the parking lot attendants took me over to the hospital for me to be examined, and they put a neck brace on my neck because my neck and stuff was swollen. So I guess I had what they call whiplash or whatever they call that. And believe me, neck brace. I have tons of neck braces with these accidents, and so that's the reason why I have osteoarthritis in my neck, because of all these accidents. And right now, I can't turn my head. I still, to this day, because of all these accidents, I can't turn my head. I have to turn my whole body in order to turn my head. I can't turn my head the way other people do because it's too painful. It hurts. And my chiropractor told me the bone in my neck is curved instead of, it's supposed to be straight, I guess. And he said it's curved, and that's the reason why I haven't so much problem with my neck. Okay, also I want to tell you some of the other conditions that come with fibromyalgia. Now, you may not get all of these, but you may have some of these if you find out that if you may not have all these conditions if you were ever diagnosed with fibromyalgia. You may not get all these conditions, but you may get some. And some of the conditions come with some of the conditions are depression, anxiety, fatigue, cognitive difficulties, which we call fibrofog, insomnia, as like I was saying, I'm talking to you at 2:30 in the morning, stress, sleep apnea, tension headaches, panic attack, osteoarthritis, muscular and joint stiffness, heightened sensitivity to light, noise, and odors, and temperature. And I'm sensitive to cold. I told one doctor that, and he thought I was crazy. He said, there's no such thing as being sensitive to the cold. And I said, yes, it is. I said, my doctor told me I was sensitive to the cold because when the cold weather hit, my fingers would swell up. And, during the winter months in Chicago, my fingers start swelling up, and they would be in a lot of pain. And the doctor told me I was sensitive to cold temperatures. And my neurologist told me to tell people if I ever get hit again, and he told me to get an emergency bracelet, which I do have one. He said, you tell them that you are sensitive to trauma. That's what my neurologist told me to tell these people when they be hitting me, and because there's no damage to the car, they thinking my pain and stuff is, that I'm faking, but I'm not. My neurologist says being sensitive to trauma, which I am. Okay. There's no cure, like I said, for fibromyalgia. And I told you already that trauma makes it worse. Also, you can have night terror. And boy, the night terror was bad. When I got night terror is going to sleep every night and having the same dream every night. So every night I would have a dream that I'm being blown up in a building. And I would sit up straight in the bed, and my heart started beating real fast. I mean, I was frightened. I was getting where I was scared to go to sleep because I was having the same dream every night. So I told my therapist about it, my psychiatrist about it, and he put me on a medication. I think it was clonazepam at the time, and that helped. That helped some, but I mean, it helped because no, it helped a lot because with the clonazepam, I wasn't having dreams anymore. But that medicine can knock you out, so I wasn't having dreams anymore, and so that's the reason why clonazepam was my friend, because I no longer had dreams, so I didn't no longer had night terror. And I also found, by accident, I discovered that my grandson's dog, which is a Yorkie, for some reason, when he was around me or when he stayed over with me and everything, I wasn't having those dreams, too. And then I did some research, and I found out that dogs can help you with with anxiety. So when having my grandson's dog living with me, I was able to get the doctor decreased my clonazepam because I didn't need a stronger dose as what I had, and that's because like I said, the dog helped me with keep me calm and not be all so anxious and stuff, and the and I was happy about that, and my therapist wrote up a letter for me so that I can take my dog with me as a service dog, take him everywhere I go, and he was my service dog because that's the only way people will accept your dog when you go into restaurants and stores and stuff like that. You have to it has to be a service dog. And so I did. My therapist did give me the fill out a letter that I carry around with me all the time, just in case someone asks me, why are you bringing this dog in here? Even though he has the vest on and everything, saying he's a service dog. He sometimes people would ask, and I also carry this card that says that they are not supposed. If they see that your dog is wearing that service dog attire and everything, they're not supposed to ask you the reason why you have a service dog. That's none of their business, and then it's against the law. Okay, I told you there's no cure for fibromyalgia. Okay, I'm jumping around here, and I apologize for that. I want to tell you about the 2 times I ended up in a mental hospital. One was when I was in my 20s. I was taking medicine for my pain, and apparently I took one medicine too soon, and it was causing me to act like I could say dopey, I guess, because I would sit up and all of a sudden I'll start going down to the side, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't sit up. So I called my sister-in-law. She's a nurse, and she had me see her doctor. And I'm sitting there in his office in the chair, and I'm just going down like that. I couldn't stay up. So of course, I didn't think he was going to do that. So he admitted me to I told him what medicine, that I was on medicines and stuff that was given to me by my therapist. And so he admitted me to the hospital. And that was the first time I ever been hospitalized in a mental hospital. I was scared to death because it was some people in there that was a lot more disturbed than I was. And I fussed and hollered and kicked and screamed. I didn't do that really, but I did fuss and holler until why my light going out? Until I'm sorry about that. I fussed. Okay, computer lamp off. Computer lamp on. Oh, I don't know why it's dimming like that. Computer lamp bright. Oh, I don't know how my husband does that. I apologize for that. Let me see. Turn on my flashlight. Oh, that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be too bright. Well, let's see. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Well, you can see me a little bit. Well, it's kind of weird having this light in my eyeballs, but see. Anyway, I apologize. Well, this flashlight is not going to work. Wait a minute. Let me do it like this. Maybe that's a little better. Okay. Well, anyway, that's a little better. Now I'm forgetting what I was talking about, and that's fiber fog. Okay. I told you about the winter months. Oh, I didn't tell you about the second time. Oh, eventually, after I kept screaming and hollering and telling them that I am not, mentally disturbed, they finally released me because my mom came up there and she threatened to sue the hospital. She said threatened to sue the hospital. So they had to let me out. And I was in my 20s when that happened. And so the last time it happened was kind of recent. It was 2018. I was having, of course, the fibromyalgia pain. But this time it was hurting worse in one area of my body than the rest. It was in my arm. And it was almost like what my mom was talking about, where she wanted to stick her arm in the oven. She had only relief she got was sticking her arm in the oven. Well, anyway, it was hurting so bad. I was thinking about taking a knife and just chop my arm off. And that scared me because I did not want to do that because I know I would bleed to death. But I just wanted the pain to stop. I took medication and everything. I couldn't get the pain to stop. And then all of a sudden, the pain started messing with me mentally. I started, getting anxious. I started having panic attacks. And it felt like my heart was beating out of my chest. And I was just so afraid. And I just kept on thinking, cut your arm off, baby. You'll get some relief, cut your arm off. And that scared me because I did not want to do that because I did not want to die. So I checked myself into the hospital, into the mental hospital, to help me because I was afraid that I might hurt myself. And so I was in there, and I was able to bring Boss, my service dog. He was able to go in there with me, and I was in there for about a week, maybe two. And the therapist, she had changed some of my medication. She put me on gabapentin, which I had never been on. She increased my Prozac, depression medicine. And she also got me on a medicine called, I didn't know I was going to talk about medicine. Hold on. She got me on a medicine that I take every morning. And let's see. This is bugging me. Okay, the medicine that I take every morning, and it's I'll pull it up my list of medicines here. Oh, okay, how come I can't think of that? See, that's what fibromyalgia do to you. It makes you have memory problems. Because I used to have really good memory. My husband told me that. He said, "Boy, you had good memory, but now it's since I've been sick and been in all these accidents, and my fibromyalgia kept getting worse and worse, and my memory started getting worse and worse." Uh, the medicine is uh, Wellbutrin, generic form of Wellbutrin. She put me on that. It's called Wellbutrin. And she also changed my medication that I was taking at night for my panic attacks, and she changed that to another medicine. So, but anyway, the pain in my arm finally went away. I was feeling a lot better because I did not want to chop my arm off. And so, but even if she didn't release me when I started feeling better, I could release myself because I signed myself in. But I was really embarrassed that I had to do that. But I did not want to die. I did not want to hurt myself. So that's the reason why I, went to the doctor. And so, if you feel like you're in a situation like that where you feel like you just want to die, just pick up the phone and call the hotline, or call someone to help you. You know, don't try to deal with it alone. Try to get help if you can. Try to get some help. I hate that. Like I said, it's 3:37. I think I'm gonna call it quits. I know I missed something, but I'm gonna call it quits because I don't want to put you all to sleep. I'm not sleepy yet, but it's 3:13 a.m. I'm not sleepy yet, but I usually wind down by watching cartoons. I love that. I love the Pink Panther and Flintstones. I watch that. That's how I wind down. I don't want to go. I can't go to sleep. Try to go to sleep rather after watching something, with drama or action and stuff like that. I have to watch something like comedy or cartoons or something. Kind of heavy where I can't. I don't want to go to sleep behind something traumatic, something, bad. So that always helped me. I did want to tell you about what happened to me last month, December. Last December, I started getting this pain in my head, and I didn't know why. I didn't know why my head was hurting. It was hurting at the top of my head, and I never had this pain before. It's totally different from tension headache. Tension headache is one of those gifts that you may get when you have fibromyalgia. But I know what tension headaches feel like because tension headaches are always in the back of your head. But it's like at the top here of my head, like right in this area, it's top here, right here, and it's tender right there too. But the top of my head, and the pain was going to be from the top of my head, and it's funny how it shoot down to the back of my ear. And like I started, because I stopped going to um, a pain specialist because I was afraid of getting addicted to pain medicine. So I called myself stopping for a couple of years. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't addicted. But the over-the-counter pain medicine wasn't doing any good, so I had to. When I started having these pains in my head, I decided I better start going back to a pain clinic. And the when I went to the emergency out, that's one of those level 10. The headache was a level 10. I went to the emergency room, and the doctor did a CAT scan, and they didn't find any tumors or anything like that. But it was something weird that he said to me. He said, "Have you do you know that you can have arthritis in your head?" I said, "Arthritis in my head?" And I didn't understand why he said that. He said, "You can have arthritis in your head." That's what the doctor said. And I said, "I never heard of that before." And I told him my pain specialist doctor what he said. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You can have, your arthritis can be in your head." And so I, the emergency room doctor gave me a shot of morphine. And, of course, I was ready to fly out of there because it made my headache go away, and I was, drowsy. But anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I went back to the pain clinic, because I know that pain clinic can put me on morphine on a regular basis, whereas the primary care doctor can't do that. So I went back to my pain specialist, and I told him how the morphine helped my headaches, and so he put me on. He got me on a morphine that I take twice a day, 4 hours. I can take it every 4 hours or just twice a day. And he also had me on a time release morphine. And I happen to say that the headaches is not as bad as it was back in December, because it was hurting so bad. I was ready to check myself into that hospital again. It was like the arm all over again. It's just like the pain. It just throbbing in my head. I was just hurting so bad, and it just wouldn't go away. And that's, like I said, that's why I ended up in the emergency room, because I was afraid that I might do something stupid, and I didn't want, because I was afraid that the headache was going to cause me to have a nervous breakdown. And that was what I feared. I feared that because of the headaches, I was going to have a nervous breakdown. So I said, I have to go to the hospital. They have to do something to help these headaches. I said, because I don't want to have a nervous breakdown. I don't want to have a nervous breakdown. So, like I said, that he gave me the shot of the morphine. I felt better. But, of course, a shot of morphine is not going to last that long. So, I had to, at first I went to a neurologist, and she didn't put me on a morphine right away. She increased my gabapentin, but that wasn't helping. So I said, okay, it's time to go back to a pain clinic, because I knew that pain clinic wouldn't have no problem. The pain clinic doctor that I used to go to, we didn't have any problem putting me on morphine, because he had me on that before. So anyway, so dealing with fibromyalgia is a pain, and I don't wish this disease on anyone. I really don't, because it's very painful. So and the way that you can find out how bad like a level 10 or level 7, 8, 9, 10 pain, take some of those laundry those pins that you will hang your laundry up with. you know, those pins where you got to squeeze it, and you know, to put it when you hang your laundry on the rope, and you have those laundry pins, and you know, put them to keep your clothes on the line. They said, someone told me this in group therapy. They said, take some of those laundry pins and put them on each one of your fingers on one of your hands. And that's the kind of pain that we fibromyalgia people have. That's just how bad the pain is. And like I said, I don't wish that kind of pain on anyone. And I've been dealing with it for over 35 years. And by the grace of God, I'm still here. You know, I'm still dealing with it, even with the depression and everything. It's God is the reason why I'm here. I definitely believe in God. And I believe God is the reason why I've been able to endure 35 years of this hell, you know, this disease. And